Hi, I'm McBride. I'm from Austin, Texas. I teach with Austin ISD. I've been a special ed teacher this is my 9th year. I was in high school for 8 of those years, and this year I moved down to kindergarten. But I also do summer school sometimes. So that's what I'm doing right now and what I've done in the past.
Okay. Tell me about how you got started in working with co-writer.
Well, I worked with I was a one-on-one teacher, actually, with one rather difficult. And one of the first things is our AT department came in and gave me co-writer and said, see if you can't get him to use it. Well, so that was the very first piece of special software that went on my computer. And it took us about 3 years, but he did start using it and was very successful with it. And I loved it. I loved the program. I loved its flexibility. So I had a very diverse population. So I used it with kids that were MR and ESL. I used it with traumatic brain injury. I used it with kids that were MR. I used it with kids with autism. And I just was always impressed with the flexibility of it. I used it with people who were 20 and introduced to it. I used it with people who were 5 and introduced to it. See some specific people. There was one kid that I worked with who was MR and ESL, and he was semi-literate. He could read a little, but he'd never really written. And so everybody had to write about it. We went on a field trip almost every day, and everybody had to write about it, and he just said he couldn't. And I turned him loose on co-writer. I said, this is so easy. And I put the predictive one up because he couldn't a lot of times get an initial letter. And he was writing whole sentences, and he was like, I can write. And it was so exciting. I said, yeah, everybody has a story to tell, and everybody needs to hear your story. So, right, you can do this. So he got pretty good at it. Another person that really comes to mind, I'm trying to think of different facets of the program that make it so nice. I had a girl with traumatic brain injury. She had all the language in the world in her head, but she had a lot of physical problems, so it was really hard for her to access a keyboard. It took a long time. She had an Alpha Smart, but it took a long time, and I turned her loose on co-writer, and she was good enough to be able to spot the letter and the word in the list. So she could do the 1, 2, 3 option. And I gave her a really big vocabulary, so big words were popping up, so she could really have a more expansive writing experience than she could if she was, because if you have to sit there and type out tremendous, a lot of times you'll say big, let's face it. So if tremendous, it was so nice because her writing became so much richer. And then there's the younger population that I work with that has autism. And a lot of their problems are organizational problems and spelling problems. And so I really found out, they fuss at me. And they say, well, you shouldn't use it when they're that young. But I don't consider co-writer a crutch that someday I'm going to pull out from underneath them. It's just a tool that they can keep until they go to college. We were talking the other day, and I said, it's just the price of 2 textbooks. I mean, what's that? What is that? So that's something you can use your whole life. So it's not a crutch. It's just a tool that you can use. I actually installed it on a home computer, and the mom said, oh, I love this. I totally love this. I use it all the time. I used it some even because I'm a horrible speller, and I know what it's like to want to say something and not be able to produce it and to gear yourself down because you just can't spell it. I'm so bad Microsoft can't sometimes figure out what I'm trying to say. So, but with the younger population, it was really exciting. I did a summer program with very, very bright little boys, extremely bright little boys. And I said, we're going to write. And they went, ah! No, not writing. I said, oh, you just wait. Because before they came in, I'd put co-writer on every computer I had. And it was like, you just wait, you're going to like this. And I got them over and I showed it to it, and her eyes got big, and it talks to me. And they were between about 5 and 10. And so even my little kindergartner was like going, oh, this is great. And they produced. We wrote newspapers, we wrote interviews about each other, we pinned things on posters. And so the second day they came in, you know, I made them write the first day and showed them the program. The second day they came in, and I said, okay, now it's time to write. And they went, wait, do we get to use that special thing on the computer? And I said, yes, you do. And they love it. And so now I'm using it with first graders. And I've got a third grader that has just sucked it up. He is doing so well with it. And my refrain over the years has always been use your technology. They start to do something, you remember, use your technology. Use your technology, because it has a nice double message. It's like, I'm telling you to do this, but I'm also saying, look around you. You know, there's things that you can do to make your life better. Use your technology. So those are my kids, and I think that's a nice range of what I've done.
Super.
A lot of different, because the program is so flexible,
Right.
it can address all those different people. It's been lovely.
Fantastic. You've convinced me.
You're going to go out and buy it.
I can't spell my own name most of the time. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
That was great.